Oops. Hey, it's Saturday and it's the afternoon and I'm got a nice buzz going today and I just figured I'd say hello, which a lot of times I just think to myself, I'm too stoned, I don't get on camera. But like it really makes a difference, really. I imagine quite a few of you are doing the same thing or something similar, especially right now, since most of us really just need to be staying at home and trying to stop the spread. Seriously, people, I just want to put it like this. I don't know exactly what's going on. I just know that something is out of order, and this is what I know to do to try to help us get over the hump. So, just thought I'd say hello, talk a little bit about some music, share a few thoughts. Folks who find out about me just now, excuse me, and are inclined to ask questions about certain things. I know that I don't label my videos specifically, so you can't necessarily search and find things like that. But most of the questions that people are asking me, it's like I've already addressed the answer, the subject. So I just encourage you, like people have been doing, watch some of the older videos. There's lots to pick up on there. And the answers are there. Just can you hear it? That's my cousin neighbor. He just pulled up on his motorcycle. Can you hear it? He's playing the blues. That's why I don't have to play it. I do sometimes, but it's like I can't escape it. So what was I just playing? Ladytron, Gravity the Seducer, electronica. I feel the soul of this music. It's not the same way that you feel the soul in like blues, but it's the same soul. I'm glad that I catch it. I do honestly feel like, sometimes it's like I'm getting stuff that it's just passing people by. It's like, you don't feel that? You don't hear that? A lot of people don't. Really like Ladytron. A lot. Speaking of funk, Rasputin Stash. Talk about an overlooked band. When this came out in 1971, I was just sharing this online. My older brother James has a connection to the band. He either knows someone in the band or something. I think some of the band were from Chicago. Possibly the band was from Chicago or Florida. But anyway, my brother had this album immediately when it came out. And this is a monster album, and it's very cool because it's cutting across. It has crossover. It's not just funk, it's rock. And there's psychedelia and social commentary on this album. It's way cool. And it's on that label that everyone associates with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Cotillion. I forget the story about the label. It's a subsidiary of Atlantic Records, Ahmet Ertegun's label. But a lot of soul music came out on that label besides the prog. This is a great album, and I listened to the whole thing earlier today. Just talking about that. Something else I played today, I just woke up thinking about this because I could see it in my head. Earth Intruders is this single, 12-inch single by Björk. And what the thought was is like, I'm in the mood for some Björk. And when I'm thinking about Björk in my head, it'll all be sounding the same. And then when you play it, you, again, become cognizant of the fact that it all does not sound the same. I mean, her voice is very distinct, and Björk is always Björk. But she's tried a lot of different things, musically continues to. And so this 12-inch single, which has some amazing packaging. Actually, it's got that sticker on the back. Girl is badass. Woman. She's a girl. She's a woman, but she's a girl. two. Besides the 12 inches, the music comes on CD plus the video is on a DVD. Now I love this package because it's layered. You know, these each one of these comes out and has lyrics. Isn't it nice? And it does it with a couple more times with the green. Isn't this cool? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. It's like she could afford to do this. She could afford to indulge these ideas, and people are still doing it. You know, it is an indulgent. This stuff is not cheap to do. All this full color printing and this glossy paper and stuff. Really nice. And so I enjoyed this morning. All of the remixes. She's got good taste. So yeah, I'm just hanging out with you really literally for a little while this afternoon. It's a Saturday. I didn't go anywhere on Friday. I told you I wasn't going to do records Black Friday, and I didn't. I did receive a record in the mail I'll talk about now that it's come up in my thoughts. But same for today, really, just not planning to go anywhere or have anyone here. Sheltering in place, being safe, paying attention. Well, here's something a couple things, personal things, if you don't mind me sharing, is like my great nephews. Hey, I know you guys are watching me. That just touches me that you used one of my old songs, Dreaming and Dreaming, for one of your Instagram posts. And the images are just so cool. You guys, it just touches me because it's like you're individuals, but you're part of this line. You're part of the Higgins Johnson and in your family. But I see and feel this thing that we are about my family and our members. I'm really love my family and I'm proud of my family. I feel like we're all special, but I feel like my family, I acknowledge that we're special. And that really touches me to go on Instagram and see that you've used my music, old music of mine, where I'm singing. Think, oh man, that's so cool. And then another thing that when I wake up this morning, another cool thing is I've shared with you Richard Barbieri from the bands Japan and Porcupine Tree, who's doing solo stuff that I've just recently caught up on his solo stuff on vinyl. I get up and check my mail, and Richard's bought another one of my digital albums, Solstice. Oh man, you know, that's, wow, you know. I can't count the times now that Richard's bought my music, you know, and then let me know what he thinks of it. It's like, just blows me away. It's a high honor that musicians who I respect deeply and who have just very honestly, across the miles and time and whatever, have helped to shape my life and my reality through their exceptional creativity, and that it's reciprocal, you know, that something I do, that they hear something in it. I love that. I love that I hear regularly from people like, again, just today I heard from Charles Hayward from This Heat. Dave Anderson, who was the original bass player in Hawkwind and was in Amandul, and owns full studios where a lot of people have recorded some amazing stuff, including Porcupine Tree, but just a lot of people. Those are things that just, they keep me going, you know. I'm thankful for everything, but this stuff is what I always wanted. It wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want money and fame. I wanted to be here in this. I knew these people were my people, these musicians and artists, you know, especially the ones who I feel are exceptional. So I'll speak about this quickly, but Robin Taylor from Denmark sent me another package of CDs, 5, and I just played this one to get started. Heart Disc. I'll actually go ahead and link this to you, Robin, because I'm going to go ahead and just give my first impression of this. I listened to the very first 4 tracks on this. And Robin, you are quite an artist. Very interesting. It's so interesting to me how your music touches on a lot of things I really like. Like this is jazzy. The blowing on it is real. That's what I like. It's like it's not fake horn players faking like they're trying to play like jazz. It's like these guys are really expressing themselves. Karsten Vogel is on here, but this other guy, Hugh Steinmetz on trumpet, very good. At one point on the, I think it's cello and hammer, it starts to sound a bit like harmonic music, like Ornette Coleman, but not sounding like Ornette Coleman, but it's like, wow, this is moving into that territory. And then your guitar playing on here, you're a skilled player. I love that. It's like you play, and then all of a sudden there'll be these bursts of, whoa, man, this cat can play. Reminds me of Mark Stanley, who I've fortunately been able to record with. And even it's in the realm of Alan Holdsworth and Bill Connors and guitarists like that. Tasteful, but just flights. They'll take flight. So this Robin Taylor Heart Disc. If you don't know this man's music, I'm going ahead and giving the recommendation in this video. I really appreciate you sharing this with me and becoming basically a new long distance friend, Robin. It's like you're so much the real deal. I dig it. Last night I pulled these out because I hadn't played them for the longest, and I saw a post online that made me think to play some. The Anti-Group. T-A-G, The Anti-Group. And this is, I have 3 12-inch singles by them. Their first 3. And this one is Shit. This group was started by Addie Newton, who had the band Clock DVA. And this was the original idea was a multimedia sort of assault that they wanted to do with this concept being an anti-group. So there's that one. This is the one that got me going last night, Big Sex. The single Big Sex. Now this was a trip because there was a time when I was listening to this stuff and it was what I was finding out about. It's jarring. This one uses a sample of a couple having a hot moment, and it catches your attention, and then the way that they repeat it in the song, it becomes unsettling to the point of it either is disturbing you or it's stimulating you. This wasn't no bullshit messing around. And then I have the first one, Ha Zulu, where they try to get into kind of an African thing here. The Anti-Group. So again, I'll just pause and just share that I'm so glad that I have this library to just play with and dive into. Lately, this is mostly what I've been doing is listening and puttering with art. I've given myself permission, because I've been doing this for a long time, to not worry about writer's block. And when I decide to not push myself and work, to not do it. Because I do have a routine, and it does work as a routine, but it also works when you just let it happen. And I'll get into a routine where I'll just, it'll be a thing. I open the studio for the day and try to do some work. And a lot of times it leads to stuff. And then there's other times, like right now, I'm listening more and really enjoying it. Man, there's just, the music never ends. So this is the record I got. And I don't think this guy watches my videos. He's a interesting collector. I have never met him, never seen him, but Progzar is his handle. Cesar Montesano. Interesting cat. He's in several of the music groups I'm in on Facebook. And he has an interesting... He seems to be a super deep collector and has some very collectible stuff. But he also collects stuff that I wouldn't even be bothered with. So, interesting man. But he got a hold of me and let me know that another collector who I see online, Steve Belkin, who really has a great progressive rock collection, informed him about this coming out. It's a limited edition. The band is 25 Views of Worthing. This is one of those deals where the story is all in this really nice booklet that comes with it. This band was trying to get going back in the 70s in England. The album was never released. They did put out an EP back then. Once I started reading the booklet, then I realized, ooh, I remember hearing about this band because they had opened for Genesis and they had an EP, which is hard to find. There's a picture of it. I guess it's online. But I was actually trying to hunt one down at the time for a while and then lost track, but never could get one. But this is Canterbury style in a way. Mostly instrumental. In other words, you do hear hints of things like Soft Machine and Caravan in the music, but also kind of a jazziness, and also where the guys are still trying to figure out what they're doing. Okay? But I really appreciate that Caesar got a hold of me because there's only 250 copies of this pressed, and I was able to get one, and I'm glad I did. This is in my wheelhouse. This is the sort of thing that I like to collect and that I'm interested in. It's not super great, but it's good. There are moments when the vocals are kind of cringy, but I cringe at my own vocals, so it's So I got that. Okay, so this video is going to take hours to upload, so it probably won't be able to be seen until this evening or something. But one more. Now this one again, I'm going to add something from the internet. Osanna, Italian band, Palepoli. This is just a masterpiece of an album. It's like some kind of a concept album. I don't speak Italian, but I can tell this is a grand concept going on this album. It's big. This is a reissue because it's hard to find. I had some snobby collector who I don't know post about it saying, yeah, great album, too bad the vinyl magic pressings are all flawed and rumbly. That's bullshit because, again, you're only going to notice that if you have super high end and if you're turning it up way loud. I had to go back and put it back on and turn it way up to hear the rumble he was talking about. It's like you don't hear the rumble when you're just playing it regular. So it sounds great. It's another example of that prissy, bullshitty stuff that we deal with as collectors. I am aware of it because I've done it. Having an attitude, I have to watch my attitude now. I ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? I got attitude, but I sure do recognize it when it happens, And I try not to be pissy online with other collectors. And some people, it's apparently just part of their personality that this is what they do. So you just deal with it. Okay, I've talked a bunch, and I hope this video uploads. Be well, people. I could talk about a whole lot more. Like this one CD I have of the music I made with my dad and my brothers, Red Higgins and Sons Just Good Music. Boy, this is generating a whole lot of interest on my Facebook page. People want to hear it. But everything on there is covers, and so I don't have the publishing, and I don't want to deal with that, trying to make it public. But that's the only recording I have of my dad. I shared it with my sister this morning. I didn't realize she'd never heard it. She said, I'd never heard that. So I just sent her the files, and she just shared it, and she burst into tears when she heard our dad.